Sending shockwaves through the fight over congressional maps across the South.
Earlier this week, the court struck down a majority black congressional district in Louisiana, limiting how race can be used when states draw voting districts. Now, Republican leaders there are moving to pause part of the state's primary process while new maps are considered. The ruling is not changing maps in the Carolinas right now, but local civil rights leaders are watching closely. WBTV's Dedrick Russell joins us now live in our newsroom.
Yeah, so Dedrick, explain us a little more. Why are local leaders worried about this?
Well, simply put, Jamie, leaders say it's all about representation. They are concerned what happened in Louisiana could open the door to cause legal challenges for majority black and Latino districts nationwide. That's why the civil rights organization NAACP held an emergency call last night for all its leaders to inform them about what the next step should be. Gaston County NAACP President Sean Bates, well, he was on that call and I spoke with him today. He tells me he is troubled because he believes the Supreme Court ruling weakens the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Now, that was enacted to protect marginalized communities from being shut out of the political process because redrawn maps can shift the balance of political power. Opponents call that discriminatory maps. The Supreme Court ruled Louisiana's 6th district, which consists of black communities across the state, relied too heavily on race in its design and called that unconstitutional. NAACP leaders know fighting this will be a struggle. They are telling members tonight this ruling shows how important their voices are at the ballot box.
Going through this debate about whether our votes count, well, this shows just how important that vote actually is, right? That they are willing to do whatever possible to make it so that you can't have proper representation.
Now, experts find it interesting this conversation is happening during the year of midterms. That's why on the call, NAACP members were told they should not skip this year's November election. Now, you can expect this will not be the end of the conversation. Lawsuits and court rulings as states like California, Virginia, Texas, and Florida are doing the same thing. We're live in the newsroom tonight. Dedrick Russell, WBTV, on your side tonight.